Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Gridiron podcast. As always, your host JB joining me, Devontae Forever. This shit, we back on our regular nights of Tuesday. Devontae's not somewhere stranded in Pittsburgh this time around. Uh, although one could say he took a little trip to Vegas, handle some business there. But what's going on, bro?
I mean, I wasn't trying the last time. I was just celebrating my win. So, but what's good, Jay? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, yo. And as always, yo, appreciate the love and support. Definitely leave a comment down below. And if you're wondering what some of the games are this week, notice on the ticker down below, right there, week 4, the games that are coming up. Obviously, we have a big game tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Between the Packers and the Lions, big divisional game. Both teams look good. We'll get into a little bit of that shortly. But Devontae, as always, I'm gonna get your quick thoughts on week 3, man.
Yeah, sure. Week 3 was definitely a good week for me. Definitely a good week, but honestly, to me, probably one of the funniest weeks in the NFL for me. Like there was some stuff that happened this week that I was dying laughing that we're going to get into.
Absolutely.
Definitely for sure. So, but like for me, week 3 was probably to me the most entertaining week for me personally.
And I think I know why. But but yeah, man. So I thought week 3, like we're getting there, right? Some of the football is getting less sloppy. That was a big pet peeve of mine. It's getting less sloppy. I think defenses are starting to play a little better. I think offenses starting to click. Some teams that were slow offense are starting to pick it up. Above, unfortunately, we're starting to get injuries across the board. You know what I mean? Certain players who are key players are starting to get hurt. There's been a few head like scratching teams, like what's going on. But yeah, so far it's getting there. I still say week 5 is that first week where if you're good, you're good. If you're bad, you're bad. You know what I mean? Barring injury, of course. But yeah, man, we're not gonna bury the lead. Let's get right into it. As always, comment down your thoughts below if you have any questions, comments, concern. You just want to cheer for your team or talk shit about a division rival. Put it down in the chat. We'll read it on the show as always. All right, Devontae. I made the joke about you taking a trip to Pittsburgh. Let's get right into it. Steelers defeated the Raiders 23-18 in a game that was questionable from both sides in terms of play calling. Devontae he has no shorter words and feelings for Matt Canada, offensive coordinator for the Steelers, and everybody probably on earth now know how I feel about Josh McDaniels, the head coach of the Raiders, and Patrick Graham, who's the defensive coordinator. But look, man, Pickett, 235 yards. Of course, he hit, I believe, the rookie, right? Or is he not a rookie?
2-year, second year.
Second year player, huge bomb right after Garoppolo went down. Devontae Adams had a game. A lot of that 324 yards went to Devontae Adams. But y'all got the W, man, in a division that's shaping up to be tight race all the way through. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on the game and your takeaway for the Steelers?
This is like kind of like how I expected to play the first 2 weeks, where it's like flashes of goodness, flashes of really good, but sprinkles in of ugly. This is like I don't think we expected Matt Canada to be the 72 Dolphins. Nobody expected that, but like I think for us it was more about just like, can we score more than one touchdown? Can we score like if we get a turnover or like a fumble or something like that, and we're damn near in the red zone, you have no choice. You need to score a touchdown, period. This is the NFL. You need to score a touchdown. If you get a turnover and you have a short field, there is no ifs, ands, buts about it. You need to score a touchdown or it's going to get ugly for you in this league.
Absolutely.
So I got to see that, and I think Matt Canada called a better game. It kind of was one of those games where it's like you call when your life's on the line. It's like, I got a family to feed. If you don't call this game right,
right.
I'll be canned soon. Let me get it together. And they finally got started to get it together. I was impressive. Defense wise, like I said, TJ Watt is the best defender in the league. Once again, TJ Watt is the best defender in the league. And my secondary was probably one of the weirdest games I've ever seen in my life. We got 3. Yeah, we had like 3 interceptions? We had 3 interceptions, but we also gave up like 200 yards to Devontae Adams. So it's like,
yeah,
yay, but like nay. At the same time, I was kind of like, I was hyped, but like I didn't really know how to feel because it's like the Raiders really weren't doing too much, but he was cool. But Devontae Adams himself was murdering us. But that kind of scares me to see like, damn, well, what if like You get like we play a Josh Allen and you got Stephon Diggs
or Jamar Chase or Burrow or
You see what I'm like? Is we getting smoked because it's just not Jimmy Garoppolo? But the Raiders need a lot of help. I know they needed that much help, but like the Raiders defense is.
I try to tell you. I try to tell you.
Wow.
I try to tell you.
Go ahead. Look.
I'm at the point now. It's not even a shock. I'm not even mad or anything like that. Look, the way I felt about the Raiders is you look across the roster or you watch them play. And you're like, yo, they got talent, right? They got Jacobs, who led the league in rushing. We all know about Devontae Adams. I'm not even counting him. Michael Mayer is a good tight end. He's a rookie, you know what I mean? But Hooper can ball. He's been in the league for a while. The offensive line ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Garoppolo's serviceable. You know, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going, right? Yep. On the defensive side, you got obviously Max Crosby. He's the star. But the secondary, you look at them individually as talent, they ain't that bad. Mike Epps who came over from Philly, he's good. Bennett as a rookie, he's playing well. It's the coaching. Josh McDaniels got so used to having Tom Brady, you know what I mean, as his quarterback that we all thought he was a good offensive coordinator. He's a good coach. There's never been proof. We had the 1 year where Mac Jones looked good his rookie year. He looked okay. And that's what he got the job off of. Tom Brady and how Mac when Patrick Graham was there was not good. It was decent. It wasn't good. And that's what he brought to the Raiders. Decent coaching, not good coaching. So you look at the talent, they're always going to say, oh, this player looks good. This player could be good, but that's not how it works in the NFL, right? The Steelers, even though Devontae Adams went off, but we're talking about a top tier receiver. You see what I'm saying? True. The Steelers have a good defense. The Raiders have good potential. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Think about it. All the years Derek Carr led the team to the playoffs both years, and they won 9, 10 games, 11 games or whatever. They had to win a lot of close games. You see what I'm saying? Like Derek Carr as a Raider he's won more games with the Saints scoring under 20 than he did in 9 years with the Raiders. That alone says it right there. I don't even want to talk about the Raiders, to be honest, because as long as Josh McDaniels is there, I don't know, man.
You can just say, I don't know your personnel. Period.
Shout out to Jared. Don't worry, we're gonna get to them Dolphins scoring 70 points. But Jacoby Myers is a good point too. I kind of left him out. He's a good player. He likes making catches across the middle. But the problem is Josh McDaniels, man. I'm at the point now, Devontae, and you're gonna laugh. You ready? I miss John Gruden.
Oh,
and
God.
You know I couldn't stand John Gruden.
Oh, God.
You know I could not stand John Gruden. I couldn't stand him. I miss John Gruden. The team looked better under John Gruden, let alone Bisaccia, Jack Del Rio. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't stand, but we're stuck with him because we're still paying John Gruden because of the way he left the team, and we're still paying McDaniels. So they're stuck with him. So
I got to trade Hunter Renfrow. Y'all don't even throw him the ball.
Yeah. So the Raiders, look, Devontae Adams eventually is going to leave if he can. Hunter Renfrow will be traded before the deadline. I'm sure Max Crosby will be on his way out too after this contract. It's clean house now. And if you could find a way to get off Josh McDaniels' contract, then cool. But all right, enough about that bad team. Shout out to the Steelers. Let's get to the next game. Let's get to the comments. Matt, he said, I mentioned my Pats yet. All right, let's do this now. Patriots beat the Jets. And what I call a sloppy game, man. Like a sloppy game. We're going to get into a little while in the show. Zach Wilson, they did sign Trevor Siemian to be Zach Wilson's backup. I have a feeling even Trevor Siemian will probably end up playing because Zach has been that bad. It's a processing thing. You know what I mean? It's a processing thing. And Jared said Gruden was at least a football guy. Yeah. Josh McDaniels, he don't know how to talk to people. Like, well, anyway, Devontae. All right, let's get to the next game. This next game was a shocker, man. The Texans beat the Jaguars 37-17. Rookie quarterback CJ Stroud, 280 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Lawrence, 40 attempts, 279, 1 touchdown and a pick. Me and you had the Jaguars basically running away with the division, obviously getting out to a 1-2 start with that one win over the Colts, which was a dicey game that almost went to overtime. I asked you, man, what's going on with the Jaguars? Are they like, was it fool's gold last year? Because they got the quarterback, they got good weapons. I think we both think they got a good coach in Peterson. What do you think is going on with the Jaguars?
They don't have a defense that bails them out, and it's clearly seen their defense is not really that good. They have their moments, they have their flashes, they have their upsides, their downs. Like if as Josh Allen's not getting real pressure, really not that technically sound. But also, you look at the Jaguars, you realize that they have miscues a lot. We just don't really talk about them. Like for example, if you look at the Chargers, if the Chargers weren't the biggest choke artists as they were, they would have never made it to the Chiefs. They would have never made it to the Chiefs.
Right. Because they were getting smoked.
They was getting cracked. I think Trevor Lawrence threw 5 interceptions. I think that game was 4 interceptions, and it had to come all the way back to win that game.
Yep.
As miraculous as his second half performance was, you do that to 97% of the league, you getting murdered.
Right.
You getting murdered. So I think what you're still seeing is what I call sophomore growing pains. You're still seeing those from Trevor Lawrence because
in year 3.
In year 3, absolutely. Because let's be real here. Last year was his first real year. Because do we really count the Urban Meyer year? Do we really? Do we really count?
I forgot about okay.
Do we really count the Urban Meyer year? I think not. So like to me, this is really like his real first showing as like, all right, can you be a guy in this league? And with that being said, you got to give credit to the Texans. CJ Stroud played real good ball. They got a dog receiver in Nathaniel Tank Dell who flew under the radar in the draft and who's starting to spark and show up. They got Will Anderson over there, but I would this is what you got to see out of like your very, very the Texans had a lot of first round picks. They had they had a really good draft and they just have young talent. So they're in a development mode. So I'm not surprised to see a team like this snatch it like a win. Now, did their performance scare me for Sunday against my Steelers? You goddamn right it did. But
let me tell you something about the Texans real quick, man. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans. He has that team playing at 1,000 miles per hour, even when they probably shouldn't be in terms of the way they make plays. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the actual film of it. I'm sure I could dig it up. But there was a play where he gave the ball to ETN, right? And ETN, he made some people miss, hit the sideline. ETN, as we both know, everybody in his chat know ETN is a blazer. He could run. He could run. He got tackled on a touchdown saving run by the defensive tackle, not because the defensive tackle was a blazer, but because he literally took the right angle in the pursuit and chased them down. That's how D'Amico Ryan got these guys playing. The very next play, Jacksonville fumbled the ball, and you know what I mean? It goes from that's a 7-point swing right there.
Absolutely.
So, it's crazy how he has some boys playing fast that quick. You know what I mean? And they almost beat Baltimore week 1. Let's not forget about that. It was just sloppy ball. It was sloppy play. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out to the Texans. Jacksonville has to get this going, or we talked about them winning the division easily. They might not win the division if they don't pick this up.
Amen. True.
Let's get to the comments. Jared said Trevor Siemian might be the worst signing for the Jets, and I'm glad because it leaves the AFC East wide open. Resident Dolphin fan Jared, who's at the game to see, I don't care if they didn't get the record history, scoring 70. We're going to get to that game in just a little bit. God awful. Look, man, Zach Wilson. It's not the arm. You know what I mean? There's some guys who can't throw no more, right? We saw that with Peyton. We saw that with Drew Brees. They just couldn't throw no more, right? Zach Wilson got the arm. We've seen him run the ball kind of against the Cowboys. He got a little bit of speed to him. He's not Lamar Jackson. He got some speed to him. It's all here. It's all here. Like, that's the problem. It's all here. It's all here. Like, every throw seems late. You know what I mean? And I know he had the touchdown throw late in the game to kind of make it close, whatever. But it's just here, man. Everything seems, even sometimes the handoff seems slow. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to figure out which way to turn to hand the ball off, or if he has to reverse. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know what to say about this guy. And it's like, maybe like the only saving grace you can say is go to another team and see if their quarterback coaching system can help. You know what I mean? Because that's about it. Other than that, this dude might be out the league. I'm being serious. Like, he has where some of his teammates don't even like him, and it's like Baker Mayfield all over again, but worse. Baker at least took the Browns to the playoffs, beat the Steelers, of the big division rival. Wilson didn't even do anything close to that. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
So he said, I hope I get Tank on the waivers this week.
Oh yeah, I got him on my team. That was my rookie. I would take one promising rookie in fantasy football. That was mine.
Gotcha. All right. Let's get to this next game real quick, and then we'll talk about the Broncos giving up 70 points, which is it hurt. I hate the Broncos as a Raiders fan, but that bothers me that a team gave up 70 points. But before we get there, let's talk about the team that I picked to go to the NFC Championship game. The Dallas Cowboys dropped a game, what I call the classic trap game, to the Arizona Cardinals, 28-16. Joshua Dobbs, 189 yards passing, 1 touchdown. It doesn't look good, but the way he played was good. Had a huge throw after Dallas came down, got a field goal, had like a 50-yard throw to set up a touchdown. James Conner ran wild. Dak Prescott literally threw a pick that I can't even begin to describe what the hell he was throwing to that. Devontae, what's your thoughts on this game and your thoughts on Cowboys falling for what I call the ultimate trap game?
The proof is in the pudding. I repeat, the proof is in the pudding. I just don't understand how delusional we are as fans. Maybe that's what makes us great. Maybe that's what makes us crazy. And maybe that's what makes us so supportive. It's Dak Prescott. This is normal. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's why, like, when everyone's like, oh, the Cowboys is the best defense in the world. You see Dez Bryant, the Cowboys is the best in the world. You see Michael Irvin, who's sweating up a storm on ESPN, and now he's sweating up a storm on Fox, saying a bunch of stuff that makes no sense, trying to motivate the Cowboys. You ever look at the media? They're trying to motivate the Cowboys as America's team. They are not America's team. They're just located in Arlington, Texas. That is literally all it is. The Cowboys are just okay. The defense has good players on it. But I'm sorry. You see what happens when you don't got Trayvon Diggs out there, who's really a zone cornerback. He don't be locking nobody down. He just has fantastic hands for a cornerback you don't really see. If you tip a pass, he'll probably catch it and run it back. There's a difference. Micah Parsons, who's a star, I will give you that. Other than that, who else is on that defense that you know? Anyway, so then you look at the offense. Then you look at the freaking offense, okay? Dak Prescott hasn't played a good game all year.
Let me take
3 weeks, he was trash.
Let me take this. For the first time on the show, we're going to bring up some game film, man. Shout out to NFL with their all 22, man. Devontae, I want you to see this. Check this out. This is the interception that Dak Prescott threw. All right. Okay. Now we're going to see it from the all 22 film. Shout out to Coach Preston who's in here, Jared. So check this out. Devontae, watch this. Ready? 1, 2. Let me stop this. Okay. Oh. Can you see this, Devontae?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. I want you to see this. Drops back. Literally right there. Read the eyes right there. Let me see if I get this as a perfect screenshot. Because I want to see some. I want everybody to see this, man. I'm not picking on Dak or the Cowboys right there. So obviously we know he's trying to deliver the ball right here, right? He wants to throw it right here in between the D and the I of Cardinals. Defender right here. This guy is reading his eyes, direct line of sight, and the guy is trailing. Watch this. Look at the closing speed in the NFL. Dak Prescott's a veteran. He should know this, right? Do you see the closing speed? Now the ball is right there. This guy's right here can make a play on it. This guy here can make the hit to jar the ball loose. This guy, again, direct line of sight. What the hell did he see? What did he see? Like, again, I'm not here to pick on Dallas because, like, he wasn't the only one who threw a pick this week. But I'm very curious in, like, what the hell it was that he saw. That's what got me, man. Like, he literally, like, watch 7. He fakes over here, reads the eyes, easiest pick of the game, game over.
It's a terrible read because first off, if you have three defenders all in the middle of the field, who the hell's on the outside? Worst case scenario, if he could have ran, he could have rolled out and ran,
right,
and would have got the touchdown. But like I said, it's Dak Prescott. He's not a terrible quarterback. He's just average. He's just plays on one of the biggest markets in the NFL. He's average. Right. And then more importantly, give you help. Did they overpay Tony Pollard? Yes. Is it kind of funny that they missed Zeke? It's beyond hilarious to me.
Right.
They only have CeeDee Lamb. I don't know why everybody was so hopeful for Michael Gallup and Brandon Cooks. Well, it's because they play on a big market. You think they're these real, like, CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is not Tony. Is CeeDee Lamb is not Terrell Owens. Dak Prescott is nowhere. Dak Prescott is nowhere near better than Tony Romo.
Right.
Nowhere near Tony Romo. You look at all these other players and you're just like, yo, they're not what you think they are. And that's the problem with the Cowboys, is that they live in their own reality. They're like the only team that their belief is in their fans. And I guarantee you they're going to fire Mike McCarthy probably by the end of the year, because they're going to realize, oh, maybe it wasn't Kellen Winslow's fault. Maybe it's your fault. When in reality, Jerry Jones, this is your fault, bro. I don't know if you want me to tell you.
Right.
They won't win until he dies.
Yeah, man. And let's get to the comments, and then we'll get to the Dolphins. All right, Devontae, ready? All right. Levante said, don't trust Dak. He's becoming higher paid porn star Jimmy. Whew. We threw 3 picks on Sunday night. Joe Preston, what's going on, coach? He said, Stephon Gilmore. Yo, obviously, Trevon Diggs went down with the ACL. Everyone said, well, we got Gilmore. And my only concern, because you know how I feel about Gilmore, when it comes to being a textbook corner, they ain't too many better in the game as being a textbook corner. But the problem is he's older. You know what I mean? Just like Marcus Peters on the Raiders, as we saw, he almost had the pick 6. He could still read. He could play up here. The foot speed's a little slow. So Hollywood Brown on the touchdown, it was too easy. You know what I mean? It was way too easy. Way too easy.
I agree.
So, like, it's just not going to be there. That's why, it's important to have Diggs there, to be honest, because he's faster. But also, in a clutch moment, a little drag route. You know what I mean? And speed kills, which we're about to talk about the Dolphins in a second. It kills. He just laughing, man. He's just laughing.
Like, come on, bro.
Coach said the D-back would have gotten it if the linebacker didn't. Oh, just horrible. Look,
like,
man.
It's literally a throw in the middle of, like, he literally threw it in the middle of the zone. Like,
he literally threw it
in the middle of the zone.
Yeah.
Like, there was no way. Like, it's like he should have just known that it was there and just threw it high enough to where if the dude would have made an outstanding catch, it'd have been crazy, but 9 times 10 it would have went out of bounds. He literally threw it in the middle of the covers. That's exactly how you want your linebackers to play that ball. Like, he should have, he didn't move any defender with his eyes at all. He caught the ball and knew exactly where he was throwing it.
That's why in the NFL you can't telegraph where you're going to throw it. You saw him.
No.
He was going out there to check the hook zone. Saw his eyes locked on.
Yep.
Came back underneath, picked the ball off. Said Dak was trying to keep up with his normal pick to TD ratio. Yeah, because this was his first pick of the year. This was his first pick of the year after he beat up on the New York teams. They do not miss Zeke.
I agree. I think they do. If you watch how they play, I feel like they need that guy who can score on the 1 yard line. I like Deuce Vaughn, too small. Deuce Vaughn too small. Pollard, I don't know how you feel about Pollard and how they paid him. You can tell that he's a 1A, 1B kind of guy. He's maybe the 1B tool, but you need a
Right.
1A kind of player. He's not like your like 4 down go guy. And there's not a lot of 4 down go running backs out here.
And he says he has a much higher win percentage than Romo, which is true. Say what you want about Romo.
I'm taking Tony Romo over Dak Prescott.
I don't
Maybe
know.
You know what? That might be one of our topics next week. That might be one of our topics.
That's a good one.
I got Romo over Dak Prescott.
Pats better stand the fuck by as this D is pissed. Obviously, New England comes to Dallas at 4 p.m. on Sunday. That's gonna be a good game. Obviously, Zeke is on the Patriots, but I do agree the short yardage, that's what they're missing. Because Dak Prescott tried to do like a weird type of sneak. He got one of them, missed the other one, and I think ever since the injury, he's a little hesitant to run the ball. Yeah, remember he used to take off. One of the plays they used to run on a red zone was they motion Zeke out, which spreads the defense out and then it'd be a quarterback power right up the middle. You know what I mean? Yep. And it would always score. And ever since he got hurt, he doesn't want to quite run that in anymore. So Joe Preston, we get into our second dub this week, Coach. And again, they were missing starters on the offensive line, so the offensive line will be, and they ran the ball well. They ran the ball well. You can't even say like the offensive line was out. That's why they didn't run. They ran the ball well. It's just when the moment got tough, Dak telegraphed the throw, picked off, game over. We'll see how to go.
That's like Dan, you're trying to tank. Like the Cardinals are trying to tank. Remember, they're sitting Kyler Murray. Like they told him to chill. They just like they're trying to blow it up. Like I love Joshua Dobbs. Dobbs. I've been following Joshua Dobbs for so long because he was a former Pittsburgh Steeler. He's been like Steeler, first like 6 years on the Steelers. He ain't no starting quarterback. I love Josh Dobbs.
He played well though. He played really well. Like the placement of the passes he was throwing, he played really. And that Cardinals team has speed. Now I say that to say this is going to be a hell of a test because that New England defense is good. And we talked about this off air, Devontae, but Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, lockdown.
He talking about textbook corner.
Clamps.
I know he's a rookie, but he literally has like the fundamentals of an excellent corner. So I'm going to be interested to see how he plays CeeDee Lamb on those crossing routes.
He's in a perfect place.
So, all right. Perfect. Let's get to this next game, Devontae. We've kind of been beating around the bush, man. The Miami Dolphins defeated the Denver Broncos 70-20. Yes, you heard me right. They defeated the Denver Broncos 70-20. Tua, mind you, they scored 70 points. Tua's stat line was 23 for 26, 309 yards, and 4 touchdowns. 2 running backs also. 2 of the running backs also had 4 total touchdowns apiece. Wilson, obviously, 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I just want to give a shout out to 2 people real quick. James Salvinsky, who's a big Dolphins fan. Let's go Miami, speed. What's good, bro? Hope all's well. And I want to get to a comment from my man Jared, who was at the game to see the Dolphins play the Broncos. He said, I got to witness history. Most total yards in the game was broken, 727 yards of total offense. 2023 Miami Dolphins. I picked a great game to be at. The hell you did. Like, yo, Devontae, before we even get into this game, the Broncos giving up 70 points. Again, I just want to go to one play, man, that literally I watched this play live in person. It was all I needed to see, if I'm being completely honest with you. Check this out. So we got Tyreek Hill. I want you to see something, Devontae. Notice they come out in the pistol, strong, the motion. I want you to pay attention to Tyreek Hill, right? I'm going to use the mouse to track him. Track. Okay, boom. Pause. Why the hell is Tyreek Hill the most dangerous weapon in the NFL? This wide open. And then, of course, he has the speed, so we know how this is going to look. It's going to go straight to the house. He's going to outrun the coverage. I'm going to run this back again just so we can see this, Devontae, and then we'll see it from the other angle. Tell me what you see in this clip, Devontae.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. I can tell you what that was. All right. So this is called that one of the dumb D-backs looked like he clipped to the wrong person. He's one of those. He swore that he could read the quarterback's eyes. He thought he was gonna go for the end and then he jumped the end and out of. It's a two deep safety. Number 32 looks. He jumps the end instead of just staying where Tyreek Hill is. Look, he has no reason to jump that route. Oh, touchdown. Right. That's what you get. And that's what you get for trying to be. That's the difference. That's a big thing about being a quote unquote, a ball hawk safety, or you're playing that robber position. You're not right. You don't need the robber that. He's already well covered. He's with him. Why would you? That's just called not understanding your defense at all. But the Broncos defense is trash. I tried to tell you that the Broncos defense is trash.
Look, man. I'm sorry.
I tried to tell you. Like, this is ugly.
I never call myself a football expert or anything like that. But one thing I will say, drag in the NFL, if you see a drag route, there's either an in route or a dig route coming behind it, right? Or some type of post. It's the concept. The whole thing of the drag is to bring the linebackers up. I want you to see this, Devontae, because you did a great job of calling this out. Check this. So obviously here comes the motion, and then boom, ready? Tua snaps the ball. Linebacker goes out. There's right there. You see him right there? There's the drag route. There's that in route. Here it comes. Watch what happens. Both linebackers come with him, leaving the fastest man in the league. And I know about Dion and everything like that, but based off my eyes, this might be the fastest player in NFL history with the ball actually in his hands. Leaves him wide open. What is this safety doing? Like, there's always a man over Tyreek. You know what I mean? It's always a man over Tyreek. He's what would you say? About 18 yards away? 20 yards away from him?
Yeah, he's not catching him.
This guy right might as well just run straight for the pylon right there, because he's not getting there. Yep, he might as well just run straight for the pylon. He's not gonna get it there. This guy is not catching him. Watch this. Catches the ball. And look, you see this angle? He could literally, the closest is called catch Tyreek is at the back of the end zone. Check this. No way in hell. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. What's your thoughts on that, man? So we attacked it from the Dolphins side. Look, we know they're electric. I want to talk about the Broncos side, man. 70 points. Sean Payton, who I spoke highly of going into the year. That's why I said I thought the Broncos had a legit shot to make the wild card. Because I thought Sean Payton, he's talking all this about Nathaniel Hackett and talking about we need more professional coaches in the league. He's on every radio show saying all these things, and he gives up 70 points at the NFL game. If you're the Russell Wilson, the Broncos, where do you go from here?
You blow the team up. You blow the entire team up. First off, before I even start, I want to, because Coach P is in here, I want to say congratulations to your Columbia Blue Devils. Beat the bejesus out of Troy High School this past Friday. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to my boy Jake for getting his first for as a young coach. You beating the fight. You're like murdering people. Shout out to him in his run game. Wanted to give his praise there. Okay, now back to this game. Sweet Jesus. All right. So you know the school Bishop Sycamore, right? Where it's like it's the fake school. Yeah. And they have basically all like the college kids, and they beat the Jesus out of all these high school kids. Yeah, this is exactly what this looked like. This looked like that. This looked like Dallas Carter played in Permian High School. They were just murdering people. This is all of those things. This is exactly what this looked like. Why? Because the Broncos have absolutely no defense. Why don't the Broncos have defense? Because they were blowing it up before our eyes. They got rid of everybody. They literally let Von Miller walk out the door. They let Bradley Chubb walk out the door.
Right.
And guarantee you how much you want to bet. Eventually, they'll let Pat Surtain walk right out the door because they're blowing it up. Russell Wilson has played much better. Russell Wilson scored 20 points. He did the best he could, but the defense was so bad. And now you look at the Dolphins, first off, why aren't you triple covering Tyreek Hill, especially when Jalen Waddle's not playing?
Yep.
Jalen Waddle didn't play a snap of that game. Why are we not focusing on them? But this is what I mean by I can tell you why, like, yes, Sean Payton is an offensive coach. He's never had a defense that bad. He's never had a defense that bad. And this is why I was trying to tell you the Dolphins don't have nowhere near enough to win. And
you mean the Broncos?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
the
Broncos.
Broncos. The Broncos don't have nothing nowhere near. They have anything to win, no type of skill to win. You look at the Dolphins, they just showed another wrinkle in their game, in the running game, because just as fast as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle they are, both are Devon Shaney and Mostart can run the ball with true speed. So that's what makes them even more scary, and that just adds a new wrinkle. Why I picked the Dolphins as my sleeper team, because nobody was speaking on them.
Look, I picked them to win the division, and Mike McDaniel is a great coach. We know it's a track team. Track speed, but football players, right? That's the best thing about the Dolphins. They have track speed. We've seen a lot of guys in the league have track speed, but they're not football players. The Dolphins have track speed, but they're football players. I want to go back to the film one more time, Devontae. This is later in the game. Tua's already sitting down, chilling, drinking drinking vodka on the sideline. Mike McDaniels is in the stands, chilling with the fans. Let me show you Mike White, who's the backup quarterback. Check this.
I know the Jets miss him.
Yeah, literally. Check this. Mike White's right here. He's on. This is Robbie and Anderson chosen. Check this. What is that, Devontae? That's lack of effort. Great throw, right? Great throw to put it on the money. That's lack of effort. Look, fell for the double move. That's a lack of effort. His feet is not even set when he gets caught on the move.
Bro, that's past their 10. Past their 10.
Watch, ready? Boom. Fake. Okay, boom. By a country mile. He's wide open as well on the other side. That's lack of effort. They quit. They quit on Sean Payton.
Too.
They quit on Sean Payton. You can't tell me no different. I do want to say shout out to the Dolphins offensive line. The protection has been great. I know Tua gets the ball out faster than anybody else in the league, but the protection has been great. But come on, man. Come on, man. They quit.
Bro.
They quit on Sean Payton. Maybe rightfully so, because maybe he's not the coach we thought he was. Maybe like McDaniels just had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick on the defensive side. Maybe Sean Payton just had a good defense a lot of those years, and he just had Drew Brees, right? Because it matters. It matters.
I don't know how far Florida is from Denver off the top of my head. I don't know how far that is, but I would have made them take a bus home. They're not taking no damn plane.
You ain't getting on a team plane. Neither is Sean Payton. You ain't getting on the team plane. Yeah.
Or like we're running right after the game. Like after everybody shakes hands and clears off the game field, we're running sprints. We're like, yo, that's embarrassing. This is one of the most embarrassing games in league history in the NFL that will last forever.
It's a college score. Like we're gonna talk about Colorado, who got their ass beat as well, right?
Yep.
But these ain't pro. The Denver Broncos is a pro football team who got stopped like that. Like that's crazy to me. Let's get to the comments, man. Appreciate y'all riding through with the film and everything. Let's get to the comments. All right. Matt said James Havancy, week 8, coming for revenge. Obviously, Dolphins, Patriots, a lot of AFC East in here. Jared said he went nuts on this play. He's live when he saw that breaking down, running naked down the field for the touchdown. T Live, what's good, bro? He said, "Are the Dolphins that nice or the Broncos that bad?" I'm going to say right now, obviously, Miami's not scoring 70 points every single week, right? But their offense is that good where I think they're going to win a lot of games off that alone. Not to mention the defense is coming. Ramsey will be back. The pass rush is getting better. The way they're stopping the run is getting better. The linebackers are getting more callous. So, you know how it is when you make tackles game after game. You just get used to it, right? Christian Wilkins is a dog. Jordan Phillips is a dog. They're here. You know what I mean? But quitting is quitting, and the Broncos quit. I don't care what Russell Wilson want to say, Bronco country, let's ride, and all the cliches. Sean Payton wants to get mad at the press conference. They quit. So it's a mixture of both. The Dolphins are that good. I have them winning the division. I don't care about Buffalo. At the same time, as long as they stay healthy. But yeah, the Broncos quit, if you ask me.
Broncos 100% quit. Like,
yeah,
100% quit. It's
that's
not a debate. That's a fact. Like,
that's embarrassing. everyone needs to be on Indeed. Like, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
agree. I 100%. They need to be passing out resumes. Like, I'm finding everybody. If it's me, I'm finding everybody. Like, you did this. I'm taking 10,000 out. 10,000 out.
Jared said, "Don't cover that guy, right? Like, of all guys on the field to not cover, you're not gonna cover Tyreek Hill, right? There we go, the cheetah. Like,
come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Get Sean Payton a bra for his bitch. Look, man, the press conference annoyed me because he had so much to say, right? Chirp, chirp, chirp. Nathaniel Hackett, this. We don't have enough professional coaches in the league. Last year saying Tua was going to get benched for Bridgewater, yada, yada, yada. And now when he gets his ass whooped 70-20, now it's next question. Next question. All right, I'm done. It's like, no, sit there and take it, man. Mr. Bounty. Matt said, legend has it, Miami's still out there scoring.
Probably, it's probably like 85. It's probably like 105 to nothing. Like, this is embarrassing.
So this is the guy who said Tua should be benched for Teddy Bridgewater. Like, exactly. 100%.
Like, come on, bro.
Glenn Foreman, what's good, Pops? He said total secondary breakdown, mental, physical, and sexual. Bang them deep. You forget this game and wake the heck up. This is a game of adjustment, and there weren't any. So this is on everybody, coaches, cheerleaders, and janitors. The whole house. The whole house. Obviously, Denver they play the Bears. We know the Bears are falling apart as they're still losing staff members who are quitting and stuff like that. So yes,
game of the week.
So yes, I do expect them to win. Somebody got to win that game. Or actually, it could end at a tie, but I do expect them to beat the Bears. But that's not, if they beat the Bears 50 to nothing, that's not saying anything to me. You know what I mean? I need to see them. I need to see if they play as a team, not just for whatever the hell they put out on the field. Jared said, Robbie chosen straight from the practice squad with the Waddle injury. Exactly. Come on, man. Like,
Robbie hasn't been nice in years.
Right. He could run. Don't get me wrong, but come on, man. Colorado as a whole going through it, man. Like I said, we're gonna get to the.
We're talking about these Buffaloes.
We're gonna get to the Buffaloes and Coach Prime and all that after they got shellacked by Oregon. But yeah, the fact that they didn't even have the worst loss from the Colorado, it's a pro team that had the worst loss. Insane, man. Miami's coach was the Broncos ball boy at one point. Is what's wild to me. Look, man, if you know football, you know football. Mike McDaniel, the thing I love about him the most, he's on the record. He's like, I can't play, but I know the game. You know what I mean? And he's a good coach, man. He's a good coach.
It's about the journey.
Insert Cameron meme. That's hilarious. All right, Devontae. 70 points in the history book. In my mind, they got the record because they scored 70 with 8 minutes left in the fourth. They got the record in my mind. Let's get to the next thing we're talking about, yo. Time for quick takes. All right, Devontae, real quick, man. The Bengals defeated the Rams last night, 19-16. First win of the year. As we know, they have 2 division losses on the record to both the Ravens and Browns. But obviously, it's, as you know, playing sports, it's good to just get that first W in the column, the win column. What does this mean for Cincinnati? Do you think they can get this going now? Do you think it's a little too late? What do you think?
I don't really think it matters. Like, I would have sat Joe Burrow anyway. This game doesn't hurt them at all. I would have sat him because clearly his leg is messed up. And when you're playing in our division, we got dogs, type of pass rushers and linebackers who are going to come after you. And, like, if anything, if we see that Joe Burrow is going to become a stationary target, it's going to be a bad thing for the Bengals, no matter if they win this game or not. But if I had to give any type of positivity, if they looked good running the ball, and it looked like they're about to have to lean onto that.
Yep. Completely agree. I think the Bengals is good to get that W, but they need to be very cautious with Joe because they got the Titans this week, who I think they'll be able to beat. Yep. And after that, it gets real for the Bengals. So hopefully Joe can heal up, but at the same time, it's at least good to get that first win. You know what I mean? 1-2. That kind of, obviously we got the Steelers at 2-1. We got the Baltimore at 2-1, and I think Cleveland is 2-1 or 1-2. I forgot.
1-2.
1-2. So kind of right there in the thick of things still. You know what I mean? We're talking about. So, all right, next up, Derek Carr suffered an AC joint sprain in the game against the Packers, which obviously led to Green Bay to make a miraculous comeback in the fourth quarter to win that game. A lot of people are saying they don't think the Packers win if Carr stays healthy, but football is a game of adjustments and injuries. So he's likely to miss his game against Tampa on Sunday. They're optimistic, but they are said it's week to week. I've dealt with this injury before. It is a bitch. So with this said, can the Saints hold on until Carr returns healthy? Not just because he is a type of guy who will force his way back, but it is his throwing shoulder, I believe. So can they hold on until he gets back and healthy?
No, because if they could, they wouldn't have got him in the first place. They would have been serviceable with James Winston. Nobody was asking Derek Carr to come in there and win 14, 15 games. They were asking him pretty much to like be decent enough to win games like they played this week and like the game they played on Monday night. You picked a guy like Derek Carr to win the ugly games. You don't pick Derek Carr to put up 35 points and stuff like that. And do I think James Winston can
he beat Tampa with the defense against Baker?
No, probably not. Probably not, because James Winston is known for one thing: bro throws a lot of interceptions.
What about Baker?
A lot of interceptions. He played. I think he's a better quarterback than Jameis, and more importantly, they played the Eagles, which is probably still, you probably have to rank them either 1 or 2 in the NFC. They got smacked by one of the better teams in this league. That's not a surprise.
That's more than fair. More than fair. All right, next up, Cleveland defeated the Titans 27-3. Man, Cleveland, I believe that puts them at 2-1, right?
No, yeah, my bad. They're 2-1. They beat the Bengals.
2-1. So tied with Pittsburgh and Baltimore at 2-1. Baltimore, of course, lost to Indianapolis. The injury bug is seeming to hit the Ravens again year after year. Obviously, Steelers just beat the Raiders. Is Cleveland actually alive in the AFC North, or do you feel like it's still Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore? Like who's going to be that redheaded stepchild of the AFC North right now? Because obviously, technically, right now it's the Bengals because they are last. But I think we both think they're not going to finish last in the division.
The Browns are not alive, especially without Nick Chubb. That is their identity. It will continue to be their identity. I like Kareem. Like I like that they got Kareem Hunt, but do I think Kareem Hunt is going to be your number one back game changer like Nick Chubb? No, because they wouldn't. No, because like let's be real here. There's a reason why Kareem Hunt hasn't been picked up by nobody. Nobody until this knee injury. By Nick Chubb. I think the Browns have one of the most receiving cores on the planet. Like for me personally, Amari Cooper has all the talent in the world, work ethic wise, stuff like that.
They have the third best receiving core in the division, though.
Excuse me?
They have the third best receiving core in the division. I saw the game Sunday night. The Browns have the third best receiving core in the division.
Once again,
Okay.
I'm not I think Elijah Moore, even in college, I thought he was just okay. I think Amari Cooper, it depends on what type of Amari Cooper you get. He has attitude problems, clear as day. And then you got Deshaun Watson still misses throws.
Off.
Well, they played a really I think maybe alive in the sense of where it's they played a team that played a real rough team in the Tennessee, where it's clearly they got quarterback issues like no other. Sure. They got 3 quarterbacks that they drafted, and they've pretty much failed on all 3 of them. So with that being sorry too. I think Cleveland will be serviceable. I think they'll be like they've been the last couple of years since they went to the AFC Championship. Maybe right there. They'll be tough in the division. They'll have a 7-9 serviceable record.
You still got Baltimore winning the division?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I think Cleveland right now. I think the AFC North is jumbled. I watched all 4 teams play all 3 games. And I can't tell who's pulling ahead. Baltimore right now does look the best. I completely agree with you. They look the best. But we know the injury bug has already hit them.
Yep.
And obviously that's a part of it. You know what I mean? So right now, yes, they still look the best to me, but we'll revisit this throughout the year. But I feel like Baltimore has the black cat running around the franchise like they say about Dallas. That's how I feel about Baltimore right now with the injury bug. It's very unfortunate. I will say this though. Shout out to you because Zay Flowers is a dog.
I might have to just do a whole thing on scouting college football because something about, I don't know what it is. I am a great receiver kind of scout. I be telling people, I'm like, yo, listen, that dude about to be nice. People think I
He's
be
a
joking,
dog.
and they don't come out to be dogs. I try to
He's a
tell you,
dog.
Zay Flowers gonna be
But
different.
I will say this though. I like certain things about all four teams in the AFC North. Obviously, the Bengals is clear, right? The offense and I think their defense is it's not as good as it's been in the past, but I think they'll get there. I like the moves they made on defense. We talked about Pittsburgh already in that defense. You know how I feel about them. Baltimore, I think their offense is electric, and I love the way they can stop the run and get and pass rush. My question with them is the injuries in Cleveland. I love the way the offensive line plays. If Watson, he doesn't have to get back to what he's doing with the Texans, but he could just become good. You know what I mean? I think they could be dangerous. Obviously, we'll see. I'm still not a fan of Stefanski. But all right, that's quick takes. All right, let's get to the comments and we'll get to the game, what games to watch this week. Then we'll get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Every Tuesday, 7:05, we'll recap the following week as well as look forward. Devontae, real quick, before we even get to the games to watch, let's talk about Colorado, Oregon. I forgot about that. Obviously, they got shellacked, right? Just give your thoughts on the game real quick, and then we'll get to the comments.
What did you expect? And one, what did you expect?
Right.
One, what did you expect? And two, more importantly, this is a game where you could see the writing on the wall. Okay, you could see the clear writing on the wall. I will put this in the best terms for my people who watch wrestling. Okay, there's a certain time in wrestling where like you were in love with like Hulk Hogan, and when Hulk Hogan started to get a little stale, you start to boo Hulk Hogan, and the boos come in, and then you got people going, are they over anymore? Do we care about Hulk Hogan anymore? And here's the thing: the first thing you got to do is either you're going to turn heel or you're going to stay face. And you're just gonna listen to the boos. It's either gonna be Hulk Hogan, turn heel, go to the NWO, or you're gonna be John Cena and just stay the same person throughout the boos. This is the same thing that happened to Oregon. Okay, you got Oregon, you got the coach saying like, "Oh, they're doing all this for clicks. We're trying to win games."
It's a
blah
good
blah
speech,
blah.
though.
It's a great speech, great way. It was an incredible way to get his guys motivated. They're smacking him at halftime, and he's like, "Oh, we're not done yet." Blah 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 blah. Which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the coach said. Nothing wrong what they did. It was a very like heated game. But his thing is Oregon winning no national championship? No. So like that's one of the biggest reasons why I didn't like the speech personally, because it's like you not giving that speech every game. You only get that game. You only did that. You only did that because Colorado got the clout.
And
let's be real here. You don't believe in your team that much.
And they want the spotlight. They want the spotlight. Right.
Exactly.
For me, the game came down to one thing. Oregon legit could have had 0 pass attempts the entire game, and they still would have won the game because
they're running the ball.
The offensive line,
they don't got dogs.
Right. Not yet.
Not yet.
Colorado, if they do one thing this year in the offseason, is recruit offensive and defensive linemen. There has been top recruits already saying they'll go to Colorado. One, because it's prime. Let's be honest. And two, because there's an obvious need for them to go there and be able to start right away.
Yep.
And start all 3 years that they go to the NFL or all 4. So I do think that will improve, but I do think for right now, obviously they have to get better on the offensive and defensive lines until they can truly compete for where they want to go. On the actual game, Oregon's a good team, man. Good offensive line, good defensive line. Their receivers are good. The quarterback is good. I just still think he has a way to improve if he wants to get to the next level. He'll get into the NFL. Don't get
for sure. Best believe for sure.
If he could find the right coach, kind of how Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech, he was lighting it up, but we weren't quite sure, right? Got with Andy Reid, and then all of a sudden, Justin Herbert's another one. You know what I mean? Wasn't quite sure, but you get it with the right coach or just get to that pro style and you take off. So, but I think they'll be fine, man. Shout out to Coach Prime. Shout out to Oregon. But yeah, they did get their ass kicked. Like, you know how we do on the show. We're not going to sugarcoat.
Yeah, no, they got their ass kicked. They got clipped.
All right. Games to watch this week. So, looks a little different this week. All right, Devontae, we're going to kick this off, man. You got Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Why?
Because it's a statement game for both. You're pretty much, I think this is going to be whoever wins this game wins that division, because the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Love him. He's actually played really well. Besides the one but he always has a one-time mistake. So in my opinion, so in my opinion, this game is for pretty much the division. And I think this is probably one of the better defenses Jordan Love will have played so far. And this is going to be a tough game for him. We're going to see if Jared Goff can come back to life. And put the Lions on top because pretty much this is Jordan Love fighting for his respect, fighting for the division, and this is versus Jared Goff, who's fighting for another contract.
Okay. I definitely can see that. The game I have is New England Patriots at the Cowboys. I picked that game because it's simple. I want to see how that Dallas offense can look against what I call a good defense. The Cardinals defense it's okay.
Yep.
At best, it's okay. New England's defense is good. You know me. I have no problem. I know they gave up 200 yards rushing against the Cardinals, but some of it is what I call a trap game, right? New England's defense is real. And I want to see how that Dallas offense looks against that real. They could even win the game, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to see if they can score 21, 24, 28 points on that defense. If they win, if they beat the Patriots 10-3, I'm not impressed. I want to see what that offense can do against that New England defense. That's why I picked that game. All right. We both got the Browns and the Ravens. Why do you have it?
Well, honestly, I need the Browns to win this game. So I know so we can be number one. I need the Browns to win this game. But more importantly, this is a game where it's like I think this. Y'all gonna look at me crazy, but this game should not be close, in my opinion. This game should not be close. I think the Ravens should run away with this game. But with that being said, this also could be a game for now. I need to see if Deshaun. We're really gonna get to see the Browns offense on because like the Titans defense has been trash for a little while now. Where like they don't really Jeffrey Simmons is nice, but they don't really got a pass rush like that at all. So now this is a game where we can actually see if their pass rush can come alive. We can finally see what Deshaun Watson looks like again against another great defense. You saw how he looked against our team. He didn't play awful, but we made him give a lot of mistakes. So this is going to be another chance to see for a full, complete game this time what he can do against a good defense and for Lamar and the offense to shake the rust off.
Okay. All right. I definitely can see that. I picked it because again, I think the Browns got a good shot at the division, just like the other three teams who can stay the healthiest. But they got to win this game. They did a good job by beating the Bengals week 1. Not so good about beating the Steelers week 2. So there you go. You're 1-1 in the division. To get to 2-1 is huge. That's where, you know what I mean? That's where these things start to become important. And then if you think about it, just looking ahead, the week after that, they got the Niners. They're not going to win that game.
Nope.
So guess what? If you could win this game and then lose next week, you're all right. You're all right. But because then after that, I believe they got the Cardinals, and then I think they got the Seahawks, which aren't easy games. Don't get me wrong.
But they're winnable.
Right, they're winnable games. So if you could do that, you can start to get on the roll. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's why I think it's very, very important. All right. So we both have the Dolphins and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of self-explanatory as to why, but I'm curious, why do you have the Dolphins and the Bills?
Oh, because it's the game of the week. We're gonna finally get to see this fast defense against the Buffalo secondary.
Yep.
Which is going to be very interesting, and more importantly, we get to see Tua versus Josh Allen. I think this game could be very high scoring, and it's gonna come down to who makes that real crucial mistake. If you remember the playoff game last year, even with Skylar Thompson, this game came down to the wire.
Yes, it was very close.
It came very much down to the wire, and honestly, and this time I'm rocking with the Dolphins in this W over the Bills.
Absolutely. I think the Dolphins win, but I want to see Buffalo, their linebacking play is good, man. I don't know who's coaching the linebackers specifically, but their linebacking coach is good. Like the way Milano and the boys is playing, I want to see that because Milano can get downfield to cover, the drag dig route. He can get down there, split the middle, and cover both. Make the tackle on the drag or pick off the dig route. So I'm very curious to how they play that. We've seen also some bickering back and forth between Diggs and Josh Allen. It looked good because they won the last 2 games in blowout fashion, but I want to see what happens when they play a close game. The Bills don't got nothing for Tyreek Hill or Waddle, but I want to see it though. You know what I mean? That's why I picked that game.
Absolutely.
All right, man. So here we go as we head into week 4. If you don't know, the Thursday night game, the Detroit Lions against the Packers on Thursday night, and then on Sunday night, I believe we got the Kansas City Chiefs heading to New York to play the Jets, which was going to be a primetime game, not so much anymore. And then, of course, Monday night, we are now officially back to a single Monday night game. And I believe that is, do you remember, Devontae?
Oh
What
God.
the Monday night game is, don't worry. I got it right. Right here. We're actually going to hit the ticker right about now. Monday Night Football. We got the Seahawks heading to the MetLife to the Giants. I don't know why they keep putting back-to-back games
God.
like that. Seahawks and the Giants on Monday night. See what the Giants do with that. So let's get to the comments and then we out of here, man. All right. Pop said, Bengals win. Bengals win. More will be revealed. Problem is calf injury can lead to Achilles. Ask Aaron Rodgers or Kevin Durant. It's a great point. Great point because it's literally the exact injury that Rodgers had in training camp. Finally spent money on the O-line. They have to show up or see you next year, Cincy. Completely agree. Completely agree. Mary said, go Pats. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Pop said, proud. It's only week 3. And Levante said, Bo is mid. I don't think he's better than Shador. Completely agree.
Neither do I.
And Pop said Bills will beat Miami. Dolphins not ready yet. I think Miami is ready. Miami got me a little worried about the picks I made at the beginning of the year, besides the fact that it said they'll win the division. But with that said, that is all we have for this show. We will be back next week to talk about all the week 4 action and look forward towards week 5. One comment popped up last second. Chris Slingerland, what's good, bro? What's going on, man? Said, nah, there's no way the Bills beat the Dolphins. But all right, we'll be back next week. And Devontae, take it away. Let them know where they can find you.
At Devontae Forever on everything. Jay, once again, thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
No doubt. We out. We'll catch you next week. We out. Peace.